Why is it easy to fire employees? It sounds pretty harsh. I don't know, right? Like, yeah, it's easy. I just hire somebody and fire somebody. It's actually not that easy because, that's somebody's livelihood, right? What if they got a family and they're sole provider of that household? So really, it's actually not that easy. But I'm going to tell you why you can make it easy on you and on that employee to let them go. For me, I think I've always been a good person, right? A good boss, right? Maybe that's been a good thing. Maybe it's been a bad thing, right? But it's always been extremely challenging for me to let somebody go because I really like people. I like talking to people. I like when people are happy. I'm not confrontational. I don't like to fight. I don't like to yell. I don't curse at nobody. I curse a lot, but I don't curse at anybody. Okay. I'm just pretty chill, right? I don't stress. I'm pretty even keel. I'm just always pretty much, well, I'm 100 miles an hour, but always pretty straight, right? But many years ago, I sat down with a mentor of mine or a coach of mine, and he told me, I had a team in place, all great people. They were all doing fine, but this is what he told me, which actually made it easy for me to fire an employee, right? Which just sounds so harsh, right? But maybe I should have put to let an employee go, right? Or have them move on. But this couple of points, okay? If, that employee is just poison to the company and it just, has a bad attitude and things like that, you know what? They definitely got to go, right? If you can't fire somebody like that, go find somebody, an HR person to let them go, okay? Because they're definitely not a good fit. They're taking advantage of you. They're just cancer to the company. If they're stealing from you, if they're still around, definitely you need to let those people go, okay? I'm not even talking about those type of employees. I'm just talking about employees when you're trying to go from this level to the next level, because there's different kinds of team members on your team that are going to get you to a certain point. Then you want to go from this point to the next point, so you really have to either train them up so they come with you, right? They're growing with you. They're creative. They have new ideas. They're thinking on their own, and they're like bringing value to the company, right? And to the position, right? Then you're able to take them with you in the next level, right? But really, you're probably not going to take half of them. I don't know what the number would be, but if you're going to make a huge jump, you're usually going to have to bring on new team members unless you already got some really, really good ones that can fit that seat. So what if you don't, right? What if you have employees been with you for a couple of years and they've done a great job, they've been pretty steady, but you just know that they're not the fit for the next job. So this is one really quick way to find out if you would keep them, okay? Just imagine, even for that, for a new post or that current post they have, right? Maybe they do appointment setting for you, right? All they do is they call people and they set appointments, okay? Now, if you had a position, if you didn't have anybody in that position and you opened it up and you're about to fill that position, would you hire that same person? Think about that. Would you hire them? Okay, if you thought about it for a second, like, I don't know, possibly, then that's not the person for that job. If you already thought about, if you had to think about it, if you would, like maybe not, maybe yes, they're not for that job. If you said, oh yeah, I hire them right away, then guess what? Then they're the right person for that job. Now you think the same for the next level, right? Maybe they're here, and here's the next level. Now you need somebody like, hey, now I need to hire somebody that the person you have now that's your appointment setter sets you 5 appointments per day. Now you need 20 appointments per day, right? So maybe that person can't get you 20 because their time is limited, but can that person be in charge of 4 other people that can get you 20 appointments per day? And you say, probably not. If it's not, then you got to hire somebody else above them to build out the team, right? Or, right, if they're good, you can push them up and then they can build out the team, right? That's really up to you. Would you rehire that person? Right? There's a lot of people out there that you will not rehire. Okay. So you always got to go back and go through your organization chart and figure out who you want to keep and who you would not hire again. What happens is sometimes, team members, they get complacent. They might get a little bit, I don't want to say lazy, but yeah, they get a little bit lazy. They just get the routine, and, you got to be, creative. You got to be able to bring something back to the company so everybody can grow together. And it's just good for everybody, right? Even the employee feels like, hey, look, I got a new goal. Like, I'm going to hit somewhere, there's always something to look forward to, right? And with along that comes, right, maybe better benefits, maybe it's more vacation, maybe more pay, okay? Now, so what happens when you don't want to let go of a team member? If you don't let them go, right, you're actually hurting the rest of the company, because if that person or that position is not growing, is not really producing like you want it to produce, is hurting other people in the company who are trying their best and who are really trying hard. Okay, so it's not fair on that other people in the company. Not just that, but it's also not fair for that person that's not keeping up with their work, right? Because there's really no way to promote that person. Why are you going to promote them? So they're just pretty much stuck there in your company. So you're doing them a disservice. This is what made it easy for me. This is the key. You're doing that team member, that employee, a disservice by keeping them in your company, because they're not going to grow, right? They're not going to be able to move on. They're not going to be able to get to the full potential, right? Maybe they have a lot of potential, but maybe not in your company. So that's when you have the conversation with him, and you let him or her, you got to let them go, because, there's just no more room for them to go here. Like, you're doing them a disservice by leaving them in that position, right? So it's time for them to move on, and hopefully everybody moves on in good terms, because, right, I always tell everybody in my company, if you're moving on somewhere else, somewhere better, right, if I had to let you go or you resigned, right, hopefully it's in good terms, because someday I'm going to need your help, right? I'm going to need your help on something, and I want to be able to reach out to you and be like, hey, I need help with this because I know you did this before. Can you help me out on this project, right? Pay them a fee or whatever it is, right? You don't want to burn your bridges, okay? So that's what made it easy for me to be able to let go of employees, is I am doing them a disservice where they can't even grow and possibly provide a better future for themselves and their families. So that is why it's easy to fire employees.